What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, November 23rd. It's 7:11 a.m. and this is the crypto market update. So I wanted to start off with a couple of announcements because last night I did add some new crypto signals in the Discord. So if you notice, you come down here, you see the pair-to-pair signals. These are going to be fire. These are going to put us in the best position to profit with what we already have and accumulate more. So how it works is, instead of like looking at normal like XRP to the dollar or XRP to Bitcoin, we are now looking at XRP to XLM or Avalanche to Solana. And by knowing which ones are going to outperform the other ones, we're able to maximize the amount of profit we make. So as you see right here, HBAR against XRP got a buy now signal on the 5-day chart. That's a high time frame, the 5-day chart. So what that's telling me is it might be smart to start kind of sprinkling some XRP profits into HBAR, because HBAR likely might outperform XRP as far as gains go over the coming couple months here. Then maybe by February, March, we see that sell now signal come in for HBAR versus XRP. And then it's a good time to swap back in XRP, right? So think about if HBAR went up a double, but XRP only went up 50%, that means that we have 50% more money now that we can dump all the way back into XRP and get 50% more of the coin. So this is a strategy that I don't see many people doing. I don't see anybody really charting coin to coin if it's not like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but as far as like XRP to XLM. In that sense, we're going to be able to know when it's a good time to be kind of majority XRP or majority XLM. And at the end of the day, if the trade goes the wrong way, who's going to be mad holding XLM or holding XRP, right? That's why I'd rather trade pair to pair on the coins that I want to hold long term, rather than trading them against like Bitcoin or Ethereum, something like that. I want to trade the ISO to ISO pairs. So if I get stuck in a bad trade, I'm still happy nonetheless. So this is going to be fire. Pair to pair signals. I added a ton of them in there last night. I hope you guys enjoy those. And if you want me to do a demo on how to do this and kind of the philosophy of it, I'll do a separate video on it. I call it the RACC strategy, the RACCS strategy, which is the rapid accumulation of coin strategy. So that's for another video. So that is what was added last night, as well as I added a couple individual coins here. We added Bitcoin Cash, we added Casper, as well as we added Ethereum Classic. And then we have Litecoin we added, because Litecoin is doing something interesting, something that it reminds me of, I think it was like 2019 when it happened last. And you're going to be surprised for what I share with that. So we added Litecoin, as well as we added stocks and other signals in here. So we already had the US dollar, but we added the 10-year yield bonds, the US dollar, US oil, the US NAS 100, the SPX, DJA, the Dow Jones, gold and silver, because it's good to get a macroeconomic feel of the kind of other asset classes, because we've already seen before the past year now that when stocks go down, crypto's likely going down. When the dollar's going up, stocks and cryptos are coming down. When the 10-year yield bonds are spiking rapidly, that's kind of a panic moment as far as the system lockup. If gold and silver are flashing buy now signals on higher timeframes, that means that, it's time to gear up. So that's why we're following these signals as well too, because it's going to give us a bigger macro holistic picture as far as where the market's going to be moving. So we're going to be like 9 steps ahead of the game here. So there we go. So those were the updates as far as the stocks and other signals here, as well as the individual coins, as well as the pair-to-pair signals. I'm going to have a field day with those. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on this. But now going into kind of a question that was asked in the Discord earlier. Let me go to it here. So this was from the D-Man86. He said, Rob, just watch your XRP price breakdown. Great insights. In the short term, I see technical analysis as great because you can trade and make money as opposed to just holding. And just for context, the XRP price breakdown, let me show you what video it's talking about. So he's talking about this video here from yesterday, XRP when 589 plus. I'm giving out my own key secrets to reading the XRP chart. This is the video he's referring to. And kind of a side note, this is not me just like pulling tricks out of a hat. I've been doing this for 6 years straight every day. I'm sure some of you have been doing the same, whether it be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, whatever it may be. I just know it's not new to me, and it's been a very, very long time of tracking the price of XRP, seeing the mechanics of it, and a little bit of a backstory of how I initially came into XRP was it was like November, December of 2017. So circa 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. And I had got into coinmarketcap.com. I was just going through the top coins, going to the website, kind of checking them out, seeing kind of what they're all about. And I stumbled across Stellar Lumens and Ripple XRP. And immediately I was like, this is unreal. These coins are so cheap and they were moving so flat at a time where Bitcoin was going up, Litecoin was going up, Ethereum was going up. And I was just so confused because I was looking at their board of directors I saw on Stellar Lumen's website. It was like Patrick Collison, I think his name. He was like the Stripe CEO maybe, or CTO. And he was on the board of directors. And then I was looking at Ripple and we were seeing government people on their board of directors. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Like nobody's talking about these coins. So I was like, I'm going all in. After everybody kind of runs into Ripple and Stellar and they kind of dig a little bit there, everybody's gonna like, I'm going all in. So that's what I did. At the time I was like freshman or sophomore in college, and I had dumped in my entire life savings from working when I was 14 years old. I had like X amount of money saved up and I just went all in, right? But during that time, the exchanges, like it's not how it used to be. Like what it was back in 2017 is nowhere near to how the crypto market is today. Like we had exchanges freezing up. You had to wait like 10 days to upload your ID for KYC. You had to buy Bitcoin first. Then you had to send Bitcoin to Bittrex to then convert Bitcoin into XRP, right? So it was not easy like it was today. That was at a time where we had Cryptopia, and now Cryptopia is not around. That one went down. So there's been many exchanges that have come and gone throughout the years. But I had seen that it was at 30 cents, right? And I was like, that's weird. Everything else is just going crazy up. This one's got to go up. Like, there's no other kind of possibility besides that here. We see everything else going up. We're looking at this company, seeing how big the problem that they're solving is, how they have the partners to do it, the traction to do it. And I was trying to wire some money to Coinbase, right? The process took like 10 days. While my money was locked up, sending to the exchange. In that 10 days, XRP went from like 30 cents all the way up to $3.60. And I was like, no way. That's like a 13x. So the amount of money I was going to put in at a very young age was like 18, 19, would have turned into a huge amount of money if the money got to the exchange fast enough. Back then, it was a very different time. And unfortunately, it took like 10 days, 14 days to get the money to the exchange. And by the time that happened, it went from 30 cents to $3.60. And I was like, I didn't know charts at the time. It was my first time, like kind of even getting into any markets. And I just went all in at the top. And then for years, just saw it go down, and saw my life savings just go, from a good amount being at a young age, working from 14 to 19, but then just seeing it go down and not basically being anything. So what I decided to do at that point was not kind of count my luck, right? And hope. I wanted to learn the charts. I wanted to know when the best times to buy, the best times to sell were, when it was a good time to get into the market or a bad time to get into the market. And I studied every single day, and I just kind of watched the crypto market. I watched these influencers. I was watching Digital Asset Investor. I invested in HBAR because of Digital Asset Investor. I remember he he originally found it before it was even launched yet. I remember buying it on day one on Bittrex and seeing it crash from like 12 cents all the way down to like 3 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent. So I was there during all those times. And throughout the years, it was always just a hope. I hope XRP is going to hit $100 the next time it pumps. And it just didn't seem to be the case every time. So I learned the charts. I studied the XRP charts. I found the key indicators. I found the key time frames to look at. I paired them all together and I made the Stargate software signals based off the XRP chart. And it's crazy because the signals work on everything. So just using the XRP chart as a reference, developing the software, the signals, it then worked on currencies, commodities, bonds. It worked on other cryptocurrencies. It worked on stocks, right? It's kind of crazy. So that's why I wanted to learn. I didn't want to hope. I wanted to put the cards in my hand and be able to perfectly know, or kind of statistically know, when it was a good time to maybe take some off the table and when it was the perfect time to go all in. If you don't remember, like back in September this year, I was saying, guys, it's time to go all in, because XRP was around 33 cents, maybe 30 cents. And then it spiked up to 55 cents, right? And then the Stargate signals had flashed a sell. And that's not for any coincidence that the price had to come back down. It works in a flow, in a movement. And I feel as if like I cracked the code as far as the things to look for a statistical probability that you're going to be on the right side of the market, buying when it's the perfect time to buy and selling or taking some off the table when it's the perfect time to sell. So let me kind of walk you through the question here. So the question here was, in the short term, I see technical analysis is great because you can trade and make money as opposed to just holding. Would you agree these charts can't predict what's ahead because we never had a time like this in history? Retail are invested in an asset class before institutions and banks. This is unheard of. There is no data to predict what's to come from a technical perspective. When this asset class is written into law and adopted by the world at large, we'll see gains like we've never seen before. Would you agree? Absolutely. I see technical analysis YouTubers who are great at what they do, but get blindsided by it only relying on the data. In their eyes, XRP will do 22 euros, I believe 25 to 25 euros max. For me, this is where fundamentals come into play, knowing what you're invested in to get an idea of where we can go. We won't get them from EMAs or Fibonacci sequences. Your perspective is highly valued. Thanks. I absolutely agree, bro. I believe that you need to have a healthy mix of both, right? You never want to be totally on one end, totally on the other. I believe that you want to be fluid. You want to be able to adapt with the trend, and you want to be able to take both perspectives in mind so you can have a well-rounded kind of viewpoint and see the bigger picture, but be able to and kind of plan for the future for that, but be able to kind of deal with the now and what the current market conditions are and being able to navigate that, right? Because you could have basically this asset class written into law and adopted by the world at large. We will see gains like we've never seen before. And that's 100% true. The thing is, though, is that back in like 2018, we heard that, hey, this is going to get adopted and it's going to be written into stone and it's going to go into effect and all these institutions are going to come in. They never did. Well, they did, but it didn't really have that impact on the prices that we were hoping for, right? And if I pull up kind of the chart with it, let's do it. All right, so this is just straight up technical analysis, right? And I remember basically my life through the XRP chart, staring at it for 5 years straight. But basically what we got is the vertical blue line, right? That's your buy now signal. So it would have said to buy here in January 2020. That was when XRP was 20 cents. And then we went up to like 33 cents. And this was swell. Back in 2020, swell was happening at this time. I remember everybody was expecting a swell pump and it was just a little bit up. And then the sell signal came in and you could have hoped that, hey, like there's going to be a huge announcement at swell that's going to shoot the price up. I'm going to buy right here. But the signals and the technicals were saying, hey, we're a little bit kind of overbought and the momentum's pulling back down, maybe it's not a good time to sell, right? I mean, buy, right? So we can use technical analysis as far as a gauge as to whether the stars are aligning, basically. Like, it's hard to say that, all right, this event could be possible here at this event. We know the bigger picture. We know that there's going to be a huge announcement to send the price up 100x. But if we're seeing some of these signals flash as far as the sell warning and the sell now, that means momentum's turning back over. So unless we see the price start to keep rising here, then we can bet on that event taking place. But we started to curl over, right? And we broke trend lines. And when that happens, a lot of people are looking at that. Like 90% of the trades made on stocks, on crypto, are by bots, automated bots, algos that these big institutions with money do. They use to kind of buy and sell, kind of like this right here. But so that's what's driving the market makers, not the individual retail. So that's why we utilize some of these signals to be able to gauge what kind of the smart money is going to be doing, and that called the top. So you would have sold at 33 cents. You would have made 50% more XRP, right? Say you started with 1,000 XRP. You bought 1,000 XRP at what? 20 cents. That's like what? Maybe $200. And then you sold up here. So now you have you have $300, right? Because you sold at a 50% gain. And then you see it fall. And then it's told you to buy right here back at 16 cents. So now you have $100 more. So $300 total to now buy back in lower at a level price point that's 25% cheaper. So now with that $300, say you bought at 15 cents where you get 7 XRP for $1, and now you have 2,100 XRP instead of 1,000 XRP just from that single move here. And that was a span of what? 80 days. Now you have double the amount of XRP and you didn't have to put more money in, right? That's the key. You can just keep dumping money in. And if the price keeps going down, it's like you have the same amount of money, right? So that's why kind of playing it smart a little bit and kind of hedging your bets. We all have a bag of XRP, right? That we're holding long term. We're keeping that on the ledger, the Trezor, the cold wallets, the exchanges, or wherever you're going to hold it for safekeeping for the long term. So you can have that big bag that you're holding for the long run, 2024, 2025, 2030, but keep a portion to be able to kind of de-risk if it's saying to, hey, time to take it a little bit off the table, right? Because then you can slowly start to accumulate more XRP coins, the quantity, which is so key, by taking it off the table when the time calls for it and then buying it back in when the time calls for it. And you don't have to keep dumping more money in and trying to accumulate more coins. You're able to play with what you already got in there, a very small portion of it, not the whole thing. And then you're able to play the market when the time comes and you're being patient. Cause like right here, so you would have bought back in, then right here around 18 cents, you would have sold around 32 cents. And then even this, so this pertains to your answer here, your question. Because in the short term, technical analysis is great and you can trade to make more money as opposed to just holding. And there's nothing wrong with just holding as well too. Keep in mind, whatever works for you at the end of the day, whatever fits your personality as a person, your risk tolerance, your willingness to kind of go out on a limb and take that risk, or if selling out and with the expectation, oh, if it goes up, I'm going to miss out, then maybe it's not for you. So this is for people who they hit their goal amount for the long term. They have a little extra. They can sell it out of it, buy back in with it based off the signals. But you said, would you agree these charts can't predict what's ahead because we never had a time like this in history, right? So did anybody predict the SEC lawsuit, right? So even though nobody could have predicted that, the signals, the technicals said to sell here XRP in November of 2020, right up around like 70 cents. Right here it said to sell. And then it didn't say to buy back in yet. So it said to sell. And then we pulled down here and then bam, right here at this moment, the lawsuit against XRP happened. So then price tanked. And then we saw delisting off the exchange tanked even more, and we got prepared to buy soons, right? We're way oversold. So usually when, people are fearful selling whatever they can, it might be a good time to buy. Just like when people are greedy and things are getting overbought, it's going kind of too fast for the norm, then it might be a good time to take off the table, because we're selling when people are greedy, and we're buying when people are fearful. Just like right now, people are very fearful. Now's a great time to buy. Not financial advice. But right here, so it would have said to sell right before that SEC lawsuit. Nobody could have predicted that. Then we had the buy now signal come back in January of 2021, when who would have thought? I mean, like, it just had a SEC lawsuit. We just saw it get delisted off the exchanges. Everybody was saying it's done for. XRP's done for. Its time is over. And then it told you to buy back in. So sell at 70 cents and then buy back in around 28 cents. And you could have even bought a little bit down here. I was actually buying down here around 20 cents because I saw these signals flash, and I was like, I mean, like the last times it's called it to a T, the buy right there and the buy right here, and then the buy right before it. So I was like, the odds of this being a good bottoming place is high based off the history. And even though it was a scary time to buy at this point, and a lot of my friends were selling at this point and telling me, and I was like, bro, like, what do you mean you sold? Like, that's the time to be buying. And that's turned out to be a great buying opportunity, because not even more than 100 days later, we had from buy signal to sell signal, 100 days, right? You had to 8 times your money right there, 100 days. And then at this point, everybody's like, XRP, $10, it's going. And all the stars were aligning for that to happen, supposedly. But then we had the sell now signal right at the top at $1.80. So when a lot of people were kind of buying back in over here saying it's $10, $20, $100 now, it was not the case. That was the top right there. So that's the thing. As far as the bigger picture, I totally understand. And then it told you to buy back in here. So sell at $1.80, buy back in like $1, buy back in at 60 cents, and then sell back at $1.30. So you crushed it. Whereas prices back to 33, 38 cents. A lot of people have been holding for 5 years now that have probably a price buy-in average of 33, 36 cents for XRP. So you have to keep in mind the opportunity cost. How long are you going to wait to see any gain here, right? When you have all these fluctuations and you have all this time passed, we're still not even, higher than 50 cents right now. So you got to keep in mind the opportunity cost as well too. And I get it. I'm a long-term XRP holder for life. I believe that the price is heavily manipulated, and there was right here was actually the point where we were supposed to shoot up and do it. But then the SC lawsuit came. So I'm full believer of it. And I think that manipulation is coming to an end. So I do have that in mind as far as the macro picture. ISO 222 migration happened this past weekend. We have Basel III coming into effect January 1st. We have all these central bank digital currencies about to be launched. We have regulations coming in likely in December or Q1 next year. So keep in mind, I fully am understanding the big picture and where we're at in this time. So that's why I have my long-term bag. So I'm able to play with my small bag and kind of de-risk or add on in times where these signals flash, because historically it's called it to a T. But if it's finally the time where it's going to just rocket ship up, I got my big bags packed. So like, I'm not worried about it regardless. So, but it's all up to you, all up to what your goal holdings was. If you achieve that yet, your risk tolerance, etc. Nothing's ever, the right way. You got to have a balance, and you got to see both perspectives and just come to the conclusion that best fits your personality and what you want to do. So there's no data to predict what's to come from a technical perspective. When this asset class is written into law and adopted by the world at large, we will see gains like we've never seen before. And I 100% agree with that. We probably can't even fathom what it's going to be. It could just be a straight beanstalk up. We don't know. That's the thing. We can keep hoping, but we don't absolutely know. I'm in the camp of it's going to be a beanstalk up. But in the meantime, until that moment happens, because who knows, it could be 2024, 2025. Will you be able to hold that long without kind of seeing any kind of gratification along the way of like, it sucks to see something go to $2 all the way back down to 30 cents and not have done anything with it. So I'm going to play a little bit of both. That's going to fit my personality. And I see technical analysis YouTubers who are great at what they do, but get blindsided by only relying on the data. In their eyes, XRP will do 22 to 25 euros max. I don't believe that to be the case. I believe it could go to 100, 1,000, much like what the problem that XRP is solving is so huge. We can't even fathom it. You guys got to watch my the holy grail of cross-border payments video. The elites are calling it the holy grail. I'm telling you, like, this has been a problem for thousands of years that central bankers, merchants have been trying to solve. And XRP is the golden child. So I'm in the camp with you, bro. At much more than 22, 25. So I'm 100% with that. And the fundamentals do come into play massively. But sometimes the Fibonacci sequences and, not as much as the EMAs, but the Fibonacci sequences work out. Because even if I go back to, if I go over to, say, 2015 to 2017, right? I could take this high to this low and I could stretch it out. And that right here, that high to this low, stretch it out. And what we see was, like, as soon as this is what happens, like, you have a high point, a low point. As soon as you break the 786, you retest the high. If you break it, you go to the 1618. I mean, like, it hit it to a T. So it's very hard this is just what everybody's looking at as far as the extension levels, retracement levels. And like, I could tell you right now some targets if you want. Like, why people are coming up with that target area is from this high to this low. We stretch it out. And that is also why XRP got rejected at that $1.70, $1.80 area right here, because like it wasn't its time yet. If it was its time, it would have broke through that point. But it got rejected at this point because it wasn't ready to shoot yet. We had to pull back down. I believe we hit our bottom, not financial advice. But yeah, so that's why if we come up to $1.66, we break through it, we're going to quickly move to $3.60. We break through that. First stop, $32. Second stop, right? So will it shoot to that in one go? It depends. It depends on what the narrative is at the moment. A lot of people wouldn't have suspected Luna to crash, from over 100 to 0 overnight, or FTT to over to $20, like $2 overnight. So there are kind of big picture things that you have to take into account. It's not all technicals as well too. That's why it's, as a trader, as an investor, you have to look at the holistic picture of the narrative, the macro environment, the fundamentals, and the technicals to get your best kind of statistical probability of what you think is about to play out. So, yeah, but 100% agree with you, bro. I do agree. Once this asset class is written to law, we're going to see trillions overnight pour into it, into the ISO type of tokens, the ones that are utility based. And we will also, it is hard to predict sometimes, right? The charts, what's ahead, who would have known FTX would have just kind of went bankrupt in one day and then crashed the market. But so these things, like these black swans or what have you, these kind of market disruptions do have an effect on the charts. But in a kind of normal way, as far as if we're pulling up the signals here, I'm on the 1 week chart, and there's really kind of no other, it's just hard to kind of put a finger on it. But I mean, like, when XRP went up 80x in 80 days, like, it called the exact top, the sell now. When it went up 13x in like 21 days, it called the top, sell now. And then it kind of said to buy back at 30 cents, 28 cents. This is on the weekly chart as well too. Then it said to sell right before the lawsuit, and then it's saying to buy back over here. So like, I mean, the mechanics of it, the time-based stuff, I mean, it has a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, we're very close to the finish line here. I actually have a chart that I want to show you as far as the XRP chart on the monthly that is showing us that this may be the last time you can buy XRP in the 30-cent range. So I can't wait to cover that with you guys. So I hope that answers your question, bro. The D-Man 86, I totally agree with you, as well as bringing in that other aspect of it to kind of have a balance there. Because as much as I want XRP to shoot to $1,000 tomorrow, I'm not going to bank on it. So I'm going to play these signals normally as I see them pop through. But at the end of the day, I have majority of my long-term bags secured away. And then I have a little bit that I can play with, like even right here, with the sell signal that came in at 53 cents. And now we're waiting for that buy now signal. That's a 30% drawdown. If I kind of took a little bit off the top and buy back in, I get 30% more XRP. So it's definitely not something if you want to do as a beginner, or you want to have some experience kind of looking at these charts, seeing how it works, the mechanics of it, before kind of risking your XRP to accumulate more in a sense. So I'm with you, bro. 100%. Thank you for the question. And also, we're doing something special right now. We're doing a Black Friday sale. So for non-paying memberships, you're gonna end up stopping. We're also doing a Black Friday sale. So that's today, tomorrow, and then Friday. So 3 days left on this Black Friday sale. It's the first time we're ever doing something like this. And we just want to thank all the supporters, everybody that's joined in recently. And we really appreciate you guys, because you guys keep us going for sure. And anybody who has seen the signals in here, so like the autonomous signals and all the new ones we added, you may not see all of them anymore. So you're only going to be able to see all the signals as a signed up member. And how you can get signed up for this Black Friday special is if you're in the Discord already. If not, join the Discord. The link will be in the bio. You will get jumped right into the launch pad. In the launch pad, you will see a link here. And that's where you get signed up for your exclusive Black Friday membership. We're only accepting 100 spots. 80 have already been taken, so there's only 20 left. And then if you needed a little bit more info, you can go to the Getting Started tab right here and watch this Step into Stargate welcome video, kind of explaining to you what Stargate is, what we offer, how everything works, etc. So Black Friday special. By Friday, if you're not signed up on one of these memberships, you're not going to see all these crypto signals anymore. You're going to see only just a few. So if you want and you see the value of these automated signals, then the membership will be there. If you have problems with it, just shoot me a DM, join the Discord, friend request me, shoot me a DM. I'm down to work with you guys. I mean, like, I didn't start this to make a buck. I've been in XRP for a very long time. As you see, I've been creating the software for it, playing it myself. It's not to make a buck, but it is to see how committed and serious people are to the value that we're trying to provide in here. And then we'll be utilizing the proceeds to develop more indicators, more software, more screeners, bots, to be able to give us a competitive advantage. And at looking at the charts and knowing when, say, XLM is ready to go, right, and XRP is going to stay stagnant, we want to know about that ahead of time, because maybe we're trying to decide, oh, where should we put our money, XRP, XLM right now? If we have that kind of insight, then we might know it's better to go into XLM at the moment. And then when the tides turn, then shift some of that back into XRP. So we appreciate it. Then we have a quick market update, and then I will get into the newsletter today, the deep dive today. So if you haven't already, link in the bio, join the Discord, say what up. I will say what up too. And now let's dive into the market update. So right now we got the bond yields. We're on the 1 week chart and we're seeing the momentum come down. So I do believe that we're going to see the bond yields pull down to, yeah, perfect. So we're going to pull down to like 2.85%, maybe like 3% in the bond yields. We see the momentum curling back down. If we take this low to this high, the 786 retracement is perfectly right at the 1 week 50 moving average. And you're seeing the stock RSI cross down, the TSI MACD cross down. So all the stars are lining for a cool off in the bond yields. Then if we go to the dollar, we've been calling this one to a T. I mean, like the Stargate signals have called this one for the past 12 years straight, the macro tops and bottoms. And what we're seeing right now is we have this low right here to this high. And right now we're chilling at the 786 retracement. We broke through it for a sec, got back above, and now we're chilling at it. To see us kind of continue down here, I want to see us get rejected. This is what we've been watching too, the 12-hour EMA ribbon. We're thinking it was going to come up here, but it looks like it got rejected right at the first ribbon here. It's coming back down. This is going to be telling because this is right where the 786 is. We do see like a mini inverse head and shoulders like this. We saw the neckline. We broke out, right? And usually you come back down, retest the neckline, and then you can keep going. So if we break down below the neckline, then it's likely going to be a kind of invalidation of the pattern playing out. So that's the very key thing to watch for today. 4-hour chart, you want to see this 50 moving average break, and then we're going to continue to head down in the dollar. So I'm going to set that alert there, and then I'm going to set one for us getting back above 107.25. All right. So now let's go into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right now, if we go to a weekly chart, we are trying to stay alive here. We are trying. If I go to a daily chart, we're seeing the momentum build right now. We're seeing the stock RSI crossing up through the 50, the TSI curling up, and the MACD crossing up. Last time that happened, see, this is what I wanted to show you, is like the technicals do work sometimes, is like right here, MACD cross up, TSI cross up, stock RSI cross up through the 50 line, and bam, we pop back up. And that was like a 22% move in Bitcoin. That's not a small move. So if Bitcoin were to do the same here, 22%, that would bring us back up to like close to 20K. Maybe we come up, we retest 19K. That does seem like the likeliest play here. We do see this trend line coming down. If we do want to see us get back up to here, then we need to break through 16,700. That's that previous high over here, or where the body is, like right there. So we want to get above that level. That would break us above the horizontal line here, as well as the descending trend line here. And then if we go to the 12-hour, we can kind of get a gauge as to how close we are of doing that. Stock RSI crossing up, MACD, TSI. So it does look promising, but I mean, like, this is going to be the make or break moment today and tomorrow, because this 12-hour candle just closed usually, and now we're seeing a red come in. So like, if we're going to get rejected, it's going to be within this 12-hour candle. So today is going to be very telling. Let's go to XRP. And we see that we are at 37.5 cents. And same thing with XRP here. We have that descending trend line coming down like that. And then we have this one like this. And we're just coiling up right now. The 1-day chart, we do see the stock RSI crossing up vertical. It's a good sign. We do see the MACD. We do see the TSI. So we just need to see that follow through and get above 39 cents. If we can do that, hold that support, then we have a very likely chance of getting back up to the 44 to 48 cent area, where if we get above that, then we can go to the next level. So we just play a level by level, right? That's what we can do here. 3-day chart, we are seeing some good signs right now. So the 11 hours, so it's going to, the candle for the 3-day chart is going to close today. We're seeing the stock RSI trying to cross up here. We do see the MACD going from dark red to white. Last time dark red to white, it does a good job at kind of calling the bottoms here. This one was like during the huge sell-off. So I like how this was just a little bit of a sell-off, not as like deep as these times over here. And now we're starting to curl. If we go to the 2-day chart, we're getting closer. And the 1 day, that's why we take time into account. We're seeing it. So if we can have a strong day today and tomorrow, then it's looking like the 3-day chart is really going to start to cross up, and we could see a sustained big move up. And that could be the one to break us above the 55 cent level. If we do that, then I mean, like, there's definitely a announcement coming, an event coming, and it'll likely be maybe the SEC lawsuit. So we can kind of gauge the technicals, and like if there's supposed to be a big breakout to happen, we can then kind of get a gauge as to when an announcement might happen, right? So that's what I'm seeing there. If we go to the short-term chart, 4-hour chart, we do see kind of the momentum curling over here, and we do see that we might have hit the 786 retracement. If we're taking this high right here to this low, we actually did come up, retest the 702, and now we're pulling back down. So we might come back down, retest like the 35, 36 cent level one more time. I don't want to see us break below here though. If we break below 35 cents, then we could head down to 32 cents, 33 cents, and then maybe even 30 cents. So I want to see us hold that 35 cent level. If we don't, then just be aware. You don't have to do anything about it, but just be aware that that could be in the cards of coming back down here before maybe gearing back up again and giving it another shot. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. And then as far as just like the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the monthly chart, I mean, like it's like kicking here. We see that we had a trend line coming down, getting rejected from. We had a breakout candle here, bullish engulfing, and now we're seeing follow through. It's looking good. So the stock market does look like it's trying to recover here. And that would bode well for crypto as well, the dollar pulling down. And then we're likely going to see some imminent regulation here soon. And I think that's going to be the catalyst to have what we were saying, to have trillions pour into the market, into some select cryptos, to just have them go to the moon. And it's a matter of, I'm sure that the signals are still going to call the tops and the bottoms. If we see on the 1 week chart, the stock RSI cross up here like this, then it's the speed and rate at how fast XRP goes up is so key. Because every single time when the stock RSI crosses up here on the weekly higher time frames, like if we just kind of go back to all the times, here we did it, we went up. 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 Here we did it, and we went up, and we went up a ton. So we need, when this happens, ultimately happens, we need to gauge the rate of speed at the growth of how fast XRP is rising. Usually we see XRP like during this big boom period, this was a matter of like 60 days. And then this one was a matter of like 21 days. So we can kind of say, if we don't see, say we go from 37 cents to whatever amount, so if we just see a move up and by like the third, fourth week, we're not at $1, it may not be the time yet. So just keep that in mind. Time analysis is very key as well too. So that's it, guys. That is it for this market update. I hope that answered your question, bro. Join the Discord. We have that special Black Friday sale happening today. We're going to announce it in the Discord around like 12 or 2. So be in the Discord ready because there's only 20 spots left. So make sure you're getting in on it because we're not doing any more specials for the rest of this year. And yeah, and we want to see you guys get those automated signals, be a part of the Discord on a full level access. If you don't want the automated signals, it's totally fine. You're still going to get access to all the other channels, just not the automated signals. So join the Discord. Link will be in the bio. Say what up. I will say what up too. And I'll see you over there.